Friday on our website. Red feather deep. Here's the receiver who breaks a tackle. It's Bovine. Brantley trying to catch him. He won't. And Oklahoma City on the first play of their next drive busts it loose and they regain the lead. Are you kidding me? Tiberius Bovine once again making the big play. Unbelievable. One wide receiver either side for Mike, and Daza will flip it out to Sim, and Sim makes the play! 10-5 touchdown! The doctor is in! The Crabs have the lead! Oh, mama! There goes that man!
To the right, single receiver to the left. Dunhill to throw, has time, goes deep down the left-hand side. That was complete behind the defense. They can't catch him. 10-5 touchdown. Atlanta. Boo Chisholm does it again.
Hand off to English on a first down, trying to get it around the left-hand side. Takes the long way around, but still picks up the first down. Still on his feet, down the sideline. Johnny English past the 20, 10. He scores again. Touchdown, Honolulu. On one of the craziest runs after fake punt, pass, kick, whatever I've ever seen. Unbelievable.
Mama, there goes that man.
I mean, he goes 5 yards back before he scores.
Yeah, I was going to make a comment about that, but I'll keep my comments to myself because he took this one to the house. He was blazing. 51 didn't have a shot.
So the Skyhawks having trouble on first and second down sometimes in terms of moving the chains, but they have converted on a decent amount of these third downs. I believe they've only had to punt once. Snap back, handoff to English, right up the gut. English fights his way for a first down again, and can you believe that? Johnny English, that's the second time on third down the man has just taken the ball and ran right up the gut for a first. This is a man possessed, ladies and gentlemen. He wants this Skyhawk team to succeed, and it looks like he's...
Splint backs for Louis Ndula. Josh to throw, runs right into Big Sexy.
Big Sexy. Another country has heard from. Oh, yeah.
He just flew right by the offensive tackle. Gave him one little move and boop, down the quarterback went.
Split receivers and offside, and Snowden's going to take the handoff. Snowden, Richard Snowden spins back inside, breaks a tackle and scores. That's going to be a touchdown, DC. How in the world did he keep his balance and move the other way?
Wow, that's well, we were just talking about it too. You know, Snowden's got that ability to break away, and had he had more field there, he was definitely able to keep going. You know, he goes through the whole guy, doesn't have a whole lot of room there. One guy misses a tackle, he spins on him another, and shakes off that one right down there at the end and is able to get in there. So DC is shown early on. They set the pace with the first touchdown, and then they come and they answer back with a great drive there.
Walker's deep pass is picked off. That's interception number 3 on the night. Eddie Gage gets up and returns it to the 34. How about Baltimore's defense against Kevin Walker? He did not throw 3 interceptions all of last season in any game. And only 2 times in his career has Walker thrown at least 3.
These two defenses right now canceling each other out. Showing a blitz up the middle, they bring it. Bentley running right into it. Bentley gets away from it. Bentley's got a first down. Breaks a tackle. Ray Bentley, he's gone. And the Aztecs are going to score and get on the board. Welcome to the game, Ray Bentley. And the Aztecs are right back in it just like that.
Good afternoon and morning if you're out there on the West Coast, and welcome to continuing coverage of Week 7 of the Simulation Football League's 20th season. I am Nate Hall, and alongside me for this game in the booth is Cameron Duty. And Cameron, we are inside Fatherhood Festival Field today, where an exciting first time ever meeting is about to go down. And as we get set to start this game, both of these teams are either at or near the top of their respective divisions. Both are coming off a 3-point win in Week 6, and both have winning records. Both are turning heads. And Cameron, what is setting these two teams apart, and what in the world do we have to look forward to in this exciting game here this afternoon?
Hey, Nate, it's great to be here in Canton with you today. I think that there's a lot of questions coming into today's game because, as you said, both of these teams have never faced each other. Sometimes that can make for some very interesting football. When you don't have any previous experience to base your game prep off of, it's kind of a wild card, and who knows, it could lend itself to an upset or two. One thing is for certain, though, keep an eye on Canton's defense. They seem to be the real deal. I had the privilege to call the game last week against Canton and San Diego. Somehow they were able to stop that high-flying offense, and I expect more of the same today. Another highlight to be looking for, can Canton's sluggish offense move the football against Las Vegas? If Las Vegas begins to put up some points and Canton's offense struggles to keep pace, that could be something worth watching today.
Yeah, Las Vegas's offense ranked top 5 in this league in passing yards per game at number 4 with over 300 passing yards per game. Canton's defense, though, very stingy when it comes to allowing passing yards, top 10 in the league, as Canton has the ball on the tee, ready to kick this one off as Rob ends. And we're underway here at Fatherhood Festival Field, and back to return this one is Doug Britton from the goal line, up the middle, all the way up to about the 18-yard line, and that is where we'll Eric Price and company start their first drive of this ball game here, Cameron.
Yeah, here we go. It's going to be interesting to see what happens here. We've got Eric Price under center, first season with the team, 6'3", 229, a very, very good quarterback, very consistent there. If he can protect the football today, I expect he could have a good day if they can do something with this Canton defense.
Starting off with 3 to the top of the screen on wide receivers, back to throw. Eric Price, he goes to the left and just out of the hands of his wide receiver, Doug Britton, off to that left-hand side. Let's introduce you quickly to the rest of this offense for Las Vegas. Eric Price, we mentioned, is the quarterback. Hubbard Kimbrell and Scott Johnson are the tailbacks. The wide receivers, Mason Kirby, Doug Britton, and Prince Wonder, John Blades, and Jackson Roberts are the tight ends. 2nd and 10 from the 18-yard line. And handing the ball off to, that's number 22 on the play, and that goes nowhere. They're losing a play, brings up 3rd down.
That was a nice play right there, coming in on the Canton defensive end there. Really just anticipating that the whole way. They were very good at this last week as well. As I said, I watched that game, and this defense is firing on all cylinders.
Early 3rd down play for Las Vegas. Deep throw, and that's going to get picked off. Picked off on the first 3rd down of the game for Las Vegas and returned all the way up to the 22-yard line. That's Evan Lacey with his first interception of the game. A big mistake there by Eric Price.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, big time mistake there. As you could see there, that was Prince Wonder there that Lacey was covering, and read it the whole way from what I could tell from that vantage point right there. He knew where the ball was going the entire time, and what an interception, and what a big time turnaround in this game already with 10 minutes to go in the first.
And now we will see Canton's offense for the first time today with impeccable field position, starting from Las Vegas's 22-yard line, starting out with 3 wide on 1st and 10 from that spot. Back to throw. Cameron Curtis has plenty of time. Spin move completed inside the 10-yard line as Aldo Free Sr. goes down at the 7. 1st and goal on the first play from scrimmage.
That was pretty, and that's what you want to do if you can. As we've said, we've alluded to the points per game and that it's on the low end of things at the bottom of the league. But if you can come out and establish a tone very early in this game, it could make a big difference.
Full house backfield, handoff to Robert Johnson all the way close to the goal line. but they're going to drag him down at the 1, bring up 2nd and goal, and Las Vegas got lucky to drag him down right there. It looks like he was about to go in.
It sure did. I actually thought that he was going to be able to reach forward enough just to get it across the goal line there, but they stop him just short. It'll be interesting to see what formation they come out with here on 2nd down.
Looks like 3 wide coming out with single back in the backfield on 2nd and goal from the 1. Looking to take an early lead here. Cameron Curtis back to throw. Out to Robert Johnson. Bowls over a defender. Are they call it a touchdown? No. They're going to say he's down at the goal line, bringing up a 3rd and goal. I thought he might have gotten across that goal line, but they're going to say his knee touch first, brings up 3rd and goal from the goal line.
That was a great play, and you can see they're kind of hurrying up the offense here a little bit.
And offset eye in the backfield. Maybe hand this one off to Robert Johnson. See if he can just pull it over and hand off to Robert Johnson. And stiffened up defense by Las Vegas as Lloyd comes in to make the big play. What a big defensive stand for Las Vegas, not allowing the touchdown as Lloyd comes in to clean up house and get the tackle. So that'll bring Rob Ems out to attempt a field goal. Good job by the defense to get the stop, and that field goal by Rob Ems is up and good. So Canton will take an early 3-0 lead as they do capitalize off the Las Vegas early turnover. Not the 7 that they were hoping for, clearly, but they do get points off of it. However, Rob Ems set for the 2nd kickoff of the game. Has it away. Britton will return it from a yard deep. Up the middle. Looking for blockers off to the right and brings it up to about the 24-yard line. And at this point, Eric Price has to shake off those cobwebs and that early mistake that he had on the first drive and just try to come out and string together a drive to get points here on the 2nd one. 1st and 10 from the 24-yard line. They have 2 wideouts to the top of the screen. Eric Price in their center. Handoff to the halfback. And that's going to give them 7 good yards to Scott Johnson right up the middle. They call him Scojo, and he gets a good gain of about 7 yards before he's tackled right there, bringing up 2nd and 3. Good gain on first to bring up 2nd and short. Playbook wide open. Offset eye. Maybe hand it off to Scojo again. See if he can get a same kind of big gain on 2nd down. They do hand it off. 2nd down. This time the defense was ready. Defense was ready for that one. No gain on that play. It brings up 3rd and 3 as Adam Chance comes. I'm sorry, that's Gary Clem. Gary Clem, number 41, comes in to get this tackle to allow Scojo to not get anywhere on that play. Bring up another 3rd down. Remember last time they went on 3rd down, they had the big interception by Evan Lacey. This one a lot shorter, 3rd and 3 from the 31. Back to throw. Eric Price over the middle. Completed. That's going to be their first 3rd down conversion of the game as they get that completed out to Prince Wonder over the middle for a nice 1st down conversion up to the 43-yard line.
Cameron Duty's got some technical
and after
issues on his
this play,
side.
we will introduce you to the rest of the defense for Canton. We haven't done so yet. Back to throw is Eric Price looking deep over the middle, and that's going to be incomplete. He thought he might have had somebody out there, but it just went over everybody's head and went incomplete. There was 3 or 4 Canton defenders out there to try to make the play, but it just sailed over everybody's head and found nobody. Again,
Cameron Duty's got some technical issues on his side, so I'll help Nate out from the studio here.
Appreciate it, Cam. Again, on 2nd down, his handoff to Scojo. On the right, nice spin move on the right side. He's still on his feet, down the sidelines, inside the 30-yard line, down to the 28. And after that first spin move and got tripped up, he stayed on his feet and got a huge gain down the sidelines for a 1st down.
You know, Scojo has been a little quiet this season despite Vegas's 4-1 hot start. They really need him to balance out their game plan and help out Eric Price, who was turnover happy the first few weeks, but he's cleaning up his game too.
Yeah, despite him going 2 touchdowns, 4 interceptions in last week's win over Arizona, that 3-point victory, 27-24, he is off to a good start in this game. And Skojo off to another good start as well. Play action pass over the middle and wide open for the touchdown, making it look easy out there as Mason Kirby goes in for the score. And Las Vegas comes right back and answers with a beautiful dime from Price to Kirby.
Now, earlier this week, I was trying to publish the top 20 make an impact players of SFL history, and Mason Kirby is on that list. He is Mr. Clutch. He seems to come up in the biggest of moments, and Vegas here on the road against the Canton team looking to prove a point makes another tremendous play for Vegas early on against this tough Classic defense.
And on to attempt the extra point now for Vegas is Matt Rage, and the extra point is up and good. And just like that, Las Vegas comes back on the very next pursuing drive after Canton's field goal and goes up 7-3. If you're new to the SFL, the Simulation Football League combines traditional sports, esports, and a role-playing game into one. Team strategies are being executed in real time by our simulations as real-life players compete on the virtual gridiron. For more information about the SFL, visit our website at www.simulationfl.net. The SFL is football for everyone. As that kickoff gets brought back by Dillapre Sr., and they'll start their next drive from the 23-yard line. And Canton didn't have the ball for very long on their first drive, and they'll look to try to string a longer drive together on their second.
Super frustrating for the Classics offense, who's been struggling this season. They had a golden opportunity early, only got 3. Now they're down 4.
Back to throw. Over the middle. Looked like they were going for maybe Kendra Wells over the middle there, but it was batted away by the defense, incomplete. Dangerous throw by Curtis. Lucky that didn't get picked off.
A lot of deep dropbacks from Cameron Curtis, a little surprising. Vegas just 4 sacks this season. That's 5th lowest in the SFL, so they're not too big of a threat on that defensive front, but they're giving Curtis extra time to try to get the ball down the field.
As that'll bring up a 2nd and 10 play. Hand the ball off to Robert Johnson. We got 2 Johnson running backs in this ball game, trying to figure out who the better one is in this one, as this one goes nowhere for only a 1-yard gain as Chris Magel comes in to get the tackle after only a 1-yard gain by Robert.
They love to make it complicated on us, don't they, Nate? 24 carries, 86 yards for Robert Johnson last week, and has already had a touchdown snipe from him. We'll see what they do here on 3rd and 9.
Back to throw, Cameron Curtis over the middle. Nice completion right there by Jack tight end. He found a seam right there as he crossed over the middle in front of the Las Vegas Fury defense and gets a nice first down to complete that 3rd down conversion.
Jack Wall was the lifeblood of this offense last week. 9 receptions, 86 yards with a long of 22. They have really found a weapon in him. The former Jacksonville King makes it happen.
On 1st and 10 now from the 39-yard line of Canton. Back to throw once again. Oh, that should have been picked off by Las Vegas as number 34 for Vegas came in. That is Chris Magel. He should have had that pick, but he'll have a reflection on his stat sheet. As that'll bring up 2nd and 10 from their own 39-yard line. Look to the top of the screen. There's 3 wideouts out there with an empty backfield for Cameron Curtis. Look for the ball to go to that side. And it will go to that side. Let's see if they come up with it. Complete. No! Cameron Curtis throws his first interception as that pick comes down by number 39, Merrick Itera, with his first interception of this ball game.
Itera, are you kidding me? On Wells, one-on-one, and then Wells does a pretty nice job of trying to push Itera out. Otherwise, that would not have been an interception. But Merrick able to get the feet down. Tremendous play by the Vegas defense. They are turnover savvy. They give up points, they give up yards, but man, do they make you make mistakes.
And now Vegas will try to turn those mistakes by Canton into points as back to throw is Price over towards the sidelines and tiptoeing over near the sidelines before he goes out of bounds is Kirby. He'll get 3 on that play as it brings up 2nd down. Second and 7 from the 45-yard line. Got 4 wide here. They've gone away from Skojo a little bit as they go play action once again. Oh, what a terrible throw, but it does fly. Oh, I thought it was going to Skojo. All right, but that was just an absolute duck of a throw as Adam Chance comes in to clean that one up and bat it away.
Adam Chance put the fear of twang in Scott Johnson, forced the 3rd down and 7. Cameron Duty, we got your back. You're muted, Cameron. We'll get him back here shortly.
Another 3rd down conversion, or another 3rd down opportunity, I should say, upcoming for Fury. The Fury back in the pocket was Price, but he had absolute as the D line for Canton, came in and just absolutely brought him down. Adam Chance gave Price no chance to throw that one, and it goes down for a big loss.
Fear of twang times 2 from one Cameron to the next. Got you, Duty?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Cam. Appreciate you, man. Good to be back here. I'm missing a barn burner of a game.
Oh, wow. Are you ever, as Vegas came back while you were gone, scored a touchdown, and it's been back and forth since as we're at the 4-minute mark now of the first quarter. And we didn't get a chance to on the first couple of drives. Let's do it quickly now before the first play goes off of this drive. Canton Classics offense goes like this. Cameron Curtis, quarterback. Robert Johnson, halfback. Kane Hunter in the fullback position. Wide receivers, Kendra Wells, Dilpree Sr., Mike Twinscrew are the wideouts. As Cameron Curtis back to throw over the middle. That is completed to the wideout. I'm sorry, that's the tight end, Jack Wall, and that's going to be a 1st down.
Nice job right there by Wall to move the football. A very consistent player up to this point in the season. We've got a penalty here.
That was an offsides on Las Vegas' Sam Yeager, but that's going to be declined as that pass completion by Jack Wall will stand. It'll be a 1st down to round out the rest of the offense for Canton. As I stated, the wide receivers, Jack Wall is a tight end. Bob Long is the other tight end. Jacques LePancake is the left tackle, and Girth Lord is at the left guard position. Back to throw is Curtis. Tipped up in the air. Oh, and that had a chance to be caught by one of the other wide receivers in the same area, but nobody comes down with it, and it'll go incomplete.
That's for sure. You know, it's probably a good thing that did just fall harmlessly to the ground there. Kind of scary when you see a ball kind of hang out there like that just a little bit. Always a threat of another deflection or an interception.
As that will bring up a 2nd and 10 from the 35-yard line. Canton really hasn't gotten anything going on offense since that short drive that led to the field goal off the turnover by Las Vegas on the very first drive of the ball game as they hand that one off. I believe that was a short throw over the middle to Robert Johnson. It only gets 4 yards on the play, bringing up a 3rd down.
You know, Las Vegas seems to be doing a nice job on this drive right now. They've got them kind of in a 3rd and 6 situation and putting the pressure on them.
Another handoff to Robert Johnson. He got some room up the middle. And that's going to be 1st down. Those big offensive linemen gave him enough of a space to go right there up the middle, and he gets 7 yards out of the 6 that he needed to get that 1st down.
Well, I tell you what, Johnson he's very good, isn't he, about churning his legs, always pushing upfield. It's so hard to bring down. Really can't get one guy to bring him down. It takes multiple.
Split backfield on 1st and 10. Handing the ball off once again to Robert Johnson, trying to break a tackle. Won't do it. Only a gain of 1 on the play. Let's go to the Las Vegas defense quickly before the next play. Sam Yeager and Anthony Stover, defensive ends. Michael Rory and A.K. Jones, the defensive tackles. Maurice Lloyd, John Osiris, Dave Drury, the linebackers. Chris Magel, Merrick Itera, the corners. Justin Reeside, Shad Allen, Luke Swift, and Max Jackson round out your safety positions. Handoff to Robert Johnson once again. They are getting run happy now on these last few plays, and that's only a gain of a couple yards before he's dragged down on that play by number 58. That is going to be the linebacker, Dave Drury.
Yeah, they don't need to give up that passing game. I mean, it's been doing so good for them, up to this point here. We don't need to see them abandon it there. I certainly don't feel like.
Empty backfield on 3rd and 8. Cameron Curtis back to throw over the middle, trying to find a receiver. He does have one on the Las Vegas side of the field, as that's Al Dillfrey Sr. all the way to the and 10. Nice play as they go. Dillfrey gets behind to Xenia. Yeah, nice play as Dillfrey Sr. goes all slants and gets the completion.
We saw him, they've kind of targeted him the last couple of series there. Obviously, I had that little gap there where I could be with you all, but from what I've been able to see so far today, they've targeted him a couple times already, and look for him to make some big plays throughout this game as well.
Deep drop back from Cameron Curtis, looking over the middle. That is Kendrick Wells. And I'm sorry, that is Jack Wall, Jack Wall, the tight end. He's going to have a completion down to the 27-yard line. And that's going to be another first down. And now Canton's starting to string together a nice drive to get themselves in a nice field position.
Well, it really is, and that's exactly what began to happen. If you've watched any other of the games of Canton earlier in the season, that great mix of run and pass, that's what makes the difference here.
Handing the ball off this time to Robert Johnson. He's got a gain of 9 yards. Get Robert Johnson on a run here, and it's going to be hard to slow him down once he starts getting blockers, and that's a gain of 9 yards inside the red zone now.
2nd and 1, going to make this a much more manageable attempt here at a first down already in the red zone.
Straight I formation behind Cameron Curtis. Once more, they hand the ball off to Johnson. Tries to pull over the defender, but another one comes in behind that one and cleans up the run as Shad Allen comes in to just bull over Johnson. Allows him to go nowhere on that play as we are approaching the end of the first quarter. Are they going to run one play? Let's see. I don't think they will, and that will be the end of quarter number 1 here. Fatherhood Festival Field. 7-3 scoreline. Fury on top. But Canton is driving. You're watching the SFL's 20th season, Week 7 action here on YouTube. Don't go anywhere. Presented by APM Music. Full house backfield on 3rd and 1. They hand the ball off to Robert Johnson, trying to get around the edge, but that's going to go nowhere. Las Vegas has been buttoning up their defense on 3rd and 4th and shorts. We saw it on their first drive when they held Canton to 3 at the goal line. We see it here once again on 3rd and short at the 18-yard line, and Canton's going to have to... Oh, let's see if they're going to snap this. Let's see if they snap it on 4th and 1. Straight I formation. Straight I formation, but I think they're just trying to get Las Vegas to jump. And they will call timeout with 2 seconds on the play clock.
You got to take the points right here in this situation. Again, though, Las Vegas is doing a fantastic job of limiting Canton. They really need to kind of, punch through. Obviously, that goal line stand was monumental earlier in the first quarter, and now, again, faced with a 3rd down and now a 4th down and short situation, they couldn't convert. And that, in the long run, as this game continues to go on, would be something that we may have to look back on if they can't convert these drives into touchdowns.
That'll bring out Rob Ems to attempt his 2nd field goal of this game from the left hash. Snap is down, kick is up, And that's going to be straight down the middle and good. So that'll bring the Canton Classics to within 1 point of this ball game. Scoreline now 7-6. Las Vegas maintains their lead, but Canton inching ever closer to that lead.
Yeah, that's why that was so important there, I think, to take the 3 points, was because, you know, that does bring you within one. And if this defense comes up and makes a big stop, who knows what could happen.
You got to watch out, though, on this pursuing kickoff. Anytime Mason Kirby gets his hands on Doug Britton. Anytime Doug Britton gets his hands on a return, he is liable to return one at any time. Returning from the 1-yard line, up to the left side, trying to find some blockers still on his feet, up to the 26-yard line. And that's where this next drive will go down. And before we get this next drive started by the Fury, we have a game update from Cam on the other game in progress. What do you got for us, Cam?
Thanks, Nate. The upset alert is cool right now. Jet Zero got hurt on Queen City's first possession of the game, and Vincalia's got 2 touchdowns. London's up 24-3, and that Queen City offense struggled without their star back. Back to you guys. You can't.
As that pass is going to be ruled out of bounds, they're going to say Mason Kirby was out when he caught that ball, bringing up 2nd and 10. But Cameron, that's tough for Queen City, losing their halfback on the first drive of the ball game, and London's ruling. Let's see. Let's see here. Las Vegas is challenging the ruling on the field.
If I'm not mistaken, I believe all you need is just 1 foot, correct? And that is a first down in this SFL. And of course, that's what they're going to be looking for right here. We'll take a look at the replay and see if he was able to just drag the toe.
Oh, that's got to. Well, now, see, the thing is, I've seen this call stand before, and that's only because they deemed that he didn't have full control of the ball. But let's see. They will. It is overturned, so they will not be charged a timeout. It is a catch, and he will have the completion before he goes out of bounds.
Canton that fan base is not happy, are they? But that clearly was a 1 foot inbounds right there, just enough to move the chains.
So that will bring up a 2nd and 3 from the 32-yard. 2 backs in the backfield, hands the ball off to Skojo, and that'll bring be a gain of 2 yards on that play, and it'll bring up 3rd and a short 1.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens here with Canton. One of the things that we saw Las Vegas do, as I alluded to earlier, they're good on stopping on the short yardage situation. Can Canton do the same?
High formation, hands the ball off to Skojo once more. Spin move, another spin move. He's still going, 3rd spin move, and finally he gets brought down all the way up to the 42-yard line, and that's going to be a Fury first down, and that's going to be an ankle breaker for the Canton defense.
That was some nifty moves. Watch this replay right there. I mean, breaks 1 tackle, spins away from another, a 3rd, actually. Look at that. I mean, just spinning his way up like a wash cycle there before he finally is brought down after picking up the first down. That's the thing about Johnson. Very hard to bring down. He's very elusive. Already 37 yards through this first quarter and into the second.
That last defender, Bob Funk, that was back there getting his ankles broken, still trying to find him on that last play, I think. As Eric Price is back to throw, completed up to the 47-yard line of Canton, and that's going to be Doug Britton with the completion, and that's another first down for the Fury.
You know, Britton is a 2-time All-Star, last, of course, being in season 19, and you're kind of seeing why there. He does a very good job of being able to elude the coverage. Again, you've seen him out there in the flat there, wide open spaces, and able to convert.
Back to throw, Price. To the right, out in the flat, Skojo. He's still going. He breaks a tackle up the sidelines, down to the 5-yard line. Evan Lacey makes the tackle, but not before Scott Johnson gets the first down.
That was the perfect play call right there, wasn't it? I mean, they had him set up in the open field to where all he had to do is kind of scooch by that one defender there to get the first down. And indeed, as we've said, Skojo very hard to bring down. And you could see it right there after he got that first down. He got a couple extra yards as well.
First and 10 now from the 35-yard line. Hands off Scott Johnson up the left side, trying to 3 yards on the play. And I think if he would have had one more blocker, been able to spring free, maybe got around Bob Funk before he got the tackle, he might have been still running.
Yeah, because it looked like there was a lot of open field up ahead of him had he been able to have got around Bob Funk there.
3 wide on 2nd and 7 for Eric Price. Back to throw. Out in the flash to Scott Johnson. Tries to spin, but this time Canton's defense stays home. Wasn't fooled whatsoever. And that's going to be only a gain of 1 yard on that play, as I believe that was Frank Bernstein on that tackle, staying home and making a tackle.
Yeah, that was Bernstein right there coming up, and I think they're getting wise to this Sojo mentality that Las Vegas has had thus far. They may have to start changing it up just a little bit.
Back to throw over the middle. Short pass, but that's not going to be enough for the first down. Mason Kirby had wide open space on that short slant pattern right in front of the Canton defense, but that only gains about 5 yards. He needed 6 to get the first down. 4th and 1 upcoming.
And, of course, you'll expect them to probably just take the 3 points here, make it a 4-point game, and it looks like that's exactly what they're going to do.
This will be about a 42, maybe 43-yard field goal, right in the middle of the 2 hash marks. Snaps down, thoughts down, Kick is up by Matt Ragent. It is right through the middle, and Las Vegas will bring their lead right back up to 4 points where it was before. And Las Vegas completes a drive that'll see them not get the 7 that they were hoping for, but finishes with points nonetheless.
And what it does do is it is no longer a 3-point game, obviously. It is now a 4-point game. And who knows, with these 2 defenses, if they were to lock down, it could be interesting to see. I think we're going to have to see Canton show a way to get into the end zone today.
That play goes 9 plays. That series, goes 9 plays, 48 yards, and takes about 3 minutes off the clock as this kickoff by Al Dillapre Sr. gets returned up to about the 22-yard line. And that is where we'll see Canton's offense get started again. The SFL would like to recognize some staff who operate mostly behind the scenes to keep the league operational. Andrew Rastelli, league getting new coaches up to speed and players onto teams. And in the portal, Ashley Jackson helps to keep our community a welcoming place for all. And Marcus Dunhill assists with contracts and off-season construction. Thanks to all of our terrific staff that has helped the SFL to 10 years of operation. As this play goes out to the 30-yard line, that's Robert Johnson getting a good 8 yards up to the 30 before he's taken down out of bounds.
This is becoming the Johnson and Johnson matchup, isn't it?
Johnson and Johnson, and not the skincare kind of deal that we're talking about, running back kind of deal. And it's being productive, if I do say so myself.
Indeed.
2nd and 2. Handoff to Robert Johnson, right up the middle. Tries to dive forward for the first down, but only gains a yard on the play, and that'll bring up 3rd and 1.
Well, it's a big play right here, I have to say. You want to show that you can convert in these short yardage situations. And, again, that's something that Canton hasn't been able to do much of yet in this game. That could change, though. We'll see what they can come up with.
Let's see if this 4-3 defense of Las Vegas can get another 3rd and 1 stop. They have 2 so far in this game. Handoff, Robert Johnson tries to spread out to the left. Off tackle, he gets a big open space, gains, believe about 15 yards on the play before he's tackled up to the 40-yard line. That's a down. Nice run.
Oh, that's a nice run, exactly. And that's exactly what we were wanting to see from them. Can they convert? Great job by that offensive line, holding up, maintaining that defensive end at bay there that was coming around on the right side. And again, of course, Johnson just doing a good job of getting out in the open field and accelerating.
You're going to call that a gain of 13 on the play. Robert Johnson now up to 32 yards on 10 carries as they'll hand it off to him again on 1st down. Bounces it out to the outside. That's a gain of 4 on the play, brings us up 2nd and 6.
I think a key that is going to be very beneficial for Canton in this game is going to be to kind of keep your yardage short. I think that this team operates best when it's 2nd down and 6, 3rd and 5. They need to kind of keep it there. That certainly helps. Getting in a long yardage situation is not their forte.
Back to throw. Curtis looking over the middle. That's completed. And that's going to be a first down. As that's going to be... Hey. And that's going to be down to the 40-yard line. What a nice catch over the middle.
Yeah, very nice. And, of course, it kind of looked like that ball maybe was thrown a little bit behind him, just kind of the angle that he made that reception. So a nice job to adjust his body to come up with the catch.
And after this play, I want to bring up a point, but they do hand the ball off to Robert Johnson, off to the right-hand side, getting a gain of 4 yards on the play. You know who we haven't heard from all game in terms of receptions for Canton is their top 2 wide receivers, Kendra Wells and Mike Twinscrew, both through this first half so far held without a single reception. Kendra Wells does have 1 target, but they haven't even looked Mike Twinscrew's way. 0 receptions for both, 0 yards, and hopefully that'll change. They look over the middle. They were looking Kendra Wells' direction, but that is going to be tipped away and incomplete. That was her second target of the game, but the defender on that one, the inside linebacker, Maurice Lloyd, that was number 58 on the play. That's linebacker Dave Drury. Had a beat on that pass, goes incomplete, got a hand up there to knock it up in the air, and Jod Allen had a chance to pick that one off at the end, and it just drops to the turf.
Maurice Lloyd looked like he was getting ready to run before he had that ball completely, firmly intact there, and that's what you could see. I think he was heading the other way before he was able to come up with that interception. If you're a Canton fan, your heart just skipped a beat.
Absolutely. You got away with one right there. 3rd and 6 now for Cameron Curtis. Deep over the middle. Looking. Oh, that's going to be incomplete once again as Magel makes the pass deflection, and that's going to bring up 4th down. Do they send out Rob Ems for a 53-yard field goal, or do they punt this one here and try to pin deep?
Personally, I think you punt because I don't see running the risk of giving Las Vegas a very good field position if that kick wasn't to make it through.
That is exactly what they're going to do. They're going to bring out the punter in this situation. And that's going to... Oh, that was almost blocked, but he does get it away. And it's going to bounce at the 8 and roll into the end zone, and that's going to get brought out to the 20 for a touchback. Tonight on Next Level Sports, an old dynasty meets a rising power when the Florida Storm welcomes the Minnesota Legend to the eye with live look-ins on the Houston Headhunters and Carolina Skyhawks from Raleigh. Coverage starts tonight, Saturday, at 6:30 p.m. Eastern on Next Level Sports. So you got to make sure to tune into that one because that should be a good one.
Oh, yeah.
As that completion is made over by the sidelines for a gain of 6 yards by Mason Kirby. You see the stat line, 4 receptions for unofficially 43 yards.
Kirby has already had a pretty productive day. Again, I don't expect them to shy away from him unless Canton can show that they can really kind of lock him down right now.
Thanks to our statisticians, Dakota Butts and Chris Porters in the stats truck for making us look smarter than we actually are. Oh no, that's going to be called a fumble. And Canton's going to pick that one up and be brought back to midfield. They're going to say Bob Funk forced the fumble, but I don't think he had possession of that one. Fell out of his hand.
I can't imagine that he did. It didn't look like he was able to make a football move either. I mean, to really show he ever had that secured.
Yeah, it was a bang-bang. It was a bang-bang play. Bob Funk, as soon as Kirby got a hand on that, came in and hit him. And then number 42 for Canton, that would be Mark Gronick, the linebacker, came in, and yeah, the head coach is going to challenge this one to say that didn't get full control of the play by the wide receiver. So we'll see what the ref says on this one. Now, the thing is, if they win this challenge, the Fury will get a third because they've already won one earlier when they challenged the completion on an earlier play in the half.
It's a big time call right here. Absolutely.
And they do win the challenge. They have won 2 challenges here in the first half, so Las Vegas will be granted a third challenge for the later parts of this ball game. Not only that, but they keep possession of the ball, and it'll be 3rd and 4.
Yeah, indeed. That could be a very make or break moment in this game. You just never know how this could turn out.
All set, I for the Fury. Back to throws Price. Plenty of time to throw. Looking to the right. That's going to be completed. Mason Kirby. What a diving completion by the sidelines all the way down to the 34-yard line. He just beat his defender on that play, and he brought it down all the way inside the Canton side of the field as he jumped over the head of Evan and made a absolutely amazing play on that one.
That was a beautiful play. It really was. And let's give some prop to this offensive line right now. I mean, my goodness, Eric Price had all day to stand back there and wait for that play to develop.
Trips to the top of the screen for Price. Back to throw. Looking to that side of the field, and that's going to be tipped away, incomplete. Looking for Kirby once again. Looks like Kirby had gotten behind the defense by number 21, Connor Darien, who's covering that side of the field. Tipped that one away and incomplete.
It looked that way. It looked like had he been able to have completed that pass, there was going to be no bringing Kirby down. It almost looked like a surefire touchdown, to be honest with you. But nevertheless, a nice job of Canton's defense coming up there and forcing the 2nd down.
4 wide with 3 to the bottom of the screen. Play action pass by Price. Back to throw, looking in the middle, and that's going to be incomplete. Nice bang play there by the defense as they were looking for Hubba Kimbrell over the middle on that play. That gets knocked down, and a nice hit by the defender on that one to go incomplete.
A nice job, of course. And again, Canton's defense, showing why they're at the top of their division right now because of this defense. I mean, they have a very good knack of being able to lock down when it matters most.
Another play action pass by Price. He's going to go down. And the thing about that is they were inside the 35-yard line on the 3rd and long play. But now that they are pushed outside of that spot, Gary Burney coming in to bring down Eric Price for the sack. I'm sorry, I was right. Why am I trying to change it? Gary Burney coming in for the sack. But yeah, now they're pushed out of field goal range. They're going to have to bring out the punter, Dustin McCrack, to kick this one away.
Well, I think we watched that happening, didn't we, Nate? I mean, we could see that developing, you and I both just watching him kind of worm his way through that offensive line there. And Price just held onto the ball a little bit too long there. And then, of course, ultimately got him out of field goal range.
Oh, and that is what Dustin McCrack does. If you've watched this guy punt from opponent's side of the field, he is one of the best in this league at pinning opponents inside the 10-yard line. He does it brilliantly right there, and Canton's got starting from their own 4-yard line.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. 2 minutes left and some change in this first half. They want to move the ball, but can they get out of this being pinned so deep?
And the handoff right there to Robert Johnson. We'll call him Rojo. We call Scott Johnson Scojo. We'll call him Rojo. Rojo goes out to a loss of 1 yard on the play as a defender comes in there to knock him down.
It's evident. Scojo versus Rojo, they've both been the top players on both sides of the ball right now, you'd have to argue, as we head to the 2-minute warning here.
We have hit the 2-minute warning here in Canton, Ohio. Score is Las Vegas 10, Canton 6. You're watching the SFL on YouTube, presented by APM Music. Don't go anywhere. Nate Hall alongside Cameron Duty, Dakota Butts, and oh boy, I just had a brain fart. I'll get to you here in a second. I'm good. As that completion is made by Jack Wall up to the 13-yard line. Chris Porter in the stats truck along with Dakota Butts. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 1 after a nice completion.
Yeah, that was a nice completion. Of course, that makes this a lot easier, a little bit more breathing room than being pinned back at the goal line.
2 backs in the backfield. They'll try to hand it off once again, and Rojo goes absolutely nowhere. Loss of a yard on that play as number 43 gets brought down. Maurice Lloyd was ready for the handoff, and that is going to be a 3 and out for Canton.
Yeah, unless I was mistaken, I think that may have been Kane Hunter on the carry there, from what my eyes could tell. But that's kind of one of those things. They tried to switch up who they were handing it to. They're trying not to get too predictable. Nevertheless, though, Las Vegas did a fantastic job of honing in on that, and now they're going to get a chance to, with less than a minute to go here, maybe put some points on the board.
We are getting a defensive battle here so far, just like we predicted might happen here in this ball game. We'll get to that here in a second as this return is brought up by Doug Britton up to the 46-yard line. We talked about how this could be a pass offense versus pass defense kind of game between Las Vegas offense versus Canton defense while you were out in the first quarter. This could also be Las Vegas top 3 in the league highest scoring points per game versus one of the least allowing points per game, as that ball is going to be picked off by Canton, and they'll take the ball right back on defense as they turn around and make another spectacular play. Connor Darien getting his first pick of this ball game.
A beautiful play. Watch him come up and just snag this out of the air. I mean, he just jumped the ball, and a great job, of course. Now, again, that just kind of turns things around again. That turns the tables here. Now Canton has an opportunity to come up with some points before the end of the half. Of course, I know they've got a long way to go, but still, you've kept Las Vegas out of scoring range once more, and they had fantastic field position. You got to feel good if you're the Classics right now.
Another good. Oh, and Cameron Curtis is going to take this one up by himself after he couldn't find anybody. Gets a big gain for a first down as they go hurry up here. I would imagine they'll spike this one to stop the clock, but maybe not. Let's see, under 30 seconds now. Cameron will go back to throw. Over to the right. Oh, off the hands and incomplete of Robert Johnson.
Yeah, I don't know if he was, set completely there to bring down that reception. Looked like he was kind of awkwardly trying to reel that one in. But, it is interesting in watching these two teams play throughout the season. We have seen Canton do this, that where they get a good conversion or something, they'll run right up to the line, and instead of, spike the ball, they'll try to run the play out. Something to watch for here.
And Cameron Curtis hands the ball off to, what a big hole for Robert Johnson as he takes it up right, gets 9.5 on the play, couldn't get that last half a yard, brings up 30 inches. They'll go 2 backs with a heavy set up front. Play action, Curtis back to throw, gets a completion inside the 50, and they'll go timeout here with 3 seconds left to set up a Hail Mary.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think what they were trying to do there, instead of using one of their 2 timeouts, was, I guess, try to keep the Las Vegas defense on their toes just a little bit. Of course, to try to see if they could find something downfield. They didn't have it. They instead, Cameron just had to drop it off there in the middle of the field and convert for the first and then go for a Hail Mary situation with 3 seconds to go here in the first half.
The thing is, Canton does have 2-star offensive tackles on that left side. They need to provide that protection in order for Curtis to get this throw off.
Yes,
they do set up in Hail Mary formation, but they will not. Cameron Curtis cannot get that ball off as the defender for Las Vegas 91, that A.K. Jones, comes in for the sack, and that is how the first half will end with your score, Las Vegas Canton 6. And as we hit the halfway point of this one, it's a low-scoring game like we thought. And quickly, before the kickoff, what's your thoughts of it?
Well, it's everything that we thought it could be. Of course, we thought both defenses would have to rise to the occasion here, and so far they have done so. Canton doing a good job of limiting Las Vegas. And again, Las Vegas doing their best to keep Canton at bay. As we said, that offense isn't as high scoring as some of the others in the league. So right now, both teams, I think, doing what they set out to accomplish.
So not getting that Hail Mary off for Canton was no harm, no foul, because they'll get the ball, turn around right back again on the first drive of the second half and try to string together a good drive once again to start out this second half.
Indeed, and you want to start off with a good tempo here, just kind of set things up real nice, and get this second half off to a good start.
First and 10 from the 24-yard line. Back to throw. Looking for receiver. That's going to be completed up to the 39-yard line. That's one of the secondary backups for Canton, number 82, Prince Majestic Johnson. One of the backups that Curtis was able to find on the off slants, and it goes for a big completion and a first down.
Yeah, it threw him off a little bit, Las Vegas, that is. I mean, putting him in there in the slot like that. And, you know, he's got 50, or excuse me, they're looking at Johnson there. I apologize. But, yeah, a nice job on that completion. Again, just utilizing different players. Spread the ball around. Get everybody involved.
Back to throws Curtis, but that's not going to be going anywhere. That's going to be a sack by Anthony Stover. He got a swim move right around the offensive lineman and able to easily get around them for a big sack on Curtis.
Yeah, what a nice job by Stover right there, coming up with a big-time play. The big man coming in would not be denied, and as you can see, I mean, he's a brute and a very hard guy to defend, no matter how good this offensive line coverage is.
Hand the ball off to Robert Johnson, trying to find an opening, but that's going to go nowhere after only a 2-yard gain, as that's going to be a tackle after that 2 yards by Dave Drury, the linebacker.
A nice job right there by the linebacker coming up and making that stop. Dave Drury, 6'1", 250, a previous All-Star with his celebrating his 10th season in the league, as a matter of fact.
Big early third down here on the third quarter, 3rd and 15 to be exact. Trips to the top of the screen, look that way for Curtis. Curtis back to throw. Short drop, but that's going to be tipped up in the air and incomplete. Dave Drury comes in again to tip it up in the air, make it difficult for Curtis to find a completion, and that's going to be going nowhere. Is that going to be a punt upcoming for James III?
Yeah, it's disappointing. It is that they couldn't get any more offensive momentum than that. But I will say this, you know, that sack on the very opening of the drive just kind of derailed it. Trying to make some points or some yardage up there, it just didn't accumulate. So you got to turn the ball over and put your defense back to work.
The punt is away, returned from about the 38 by Doug Britton. 28, brought up to the 32-yard line, and that's going to be a 1st and 10 from there, as Las Vegas will get their first crack at it on their first drive of the third quarter. Liking the game so far? Smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. The SFL produces over 400 events a year. There is no one else that gives you more football. Don't miss a minute of SFL or SFLM action and help the channel grow through your support. Thank you for helping the SFL reach 10 years of operation through your viewership. And what a 10 years it has been, as Price goes back to throw. Left side, and that's going to be completed by, that's Doug Britton for a nice completion up to the 44-yard line and a first down.
Yeah, that should be his 3rd reception of the day, if I'm not mistaken. And again, starting to really get him utilized here. And Price is having a good day. Looks like he is 12 for 20. And, you know, just about 57, 58% there in completion percentage. And, you know, one thing that we would like to see, or I would like to see more of from him, is maybe a couple more touchdown passes there to see if he can get it in the end zone, kind of get them utilized.
Back to throw is Price on an out route up to Mason Kirby. And Kirby able to get that one up to another first down, up the sidelines to Canton side of the field to the 45-yard line.
And again, as I just mentioned, you know, spreading the ball around. 1 minute it's Britton, the next it's Kirby. Not trying to really beat a dead horse. You know, they don't want to wear anybody out right here. We've seen what happens when you get too dependent on one player. And by doing so, that should open up some running games, I would believe. Opening up some running, passing lanes there as well. I think it's a good mix for both.
And Price back to throw. Doug Britton. And they're just wearing down at this point of the third quarter on their first drive. They're starting to wear down this secondary for Canton. 9 to 11 yards at a time. 9-yard gain there, 2nd and 1.
Yeah, you can see it, can't you, Nate? I mean, it's just starting to wear down this very, very stern defense. But when you don't have any offensive productivity, you know, your guys begin to get pretty tired here. And that's what is happening with Canton.
It's Gojo gets the handoff, wide open space, up the sidelines, 10, 5. And he'll get inside the 5 to the 2-yard line. It'll bring up 1st and goal. He got a couple of blocks around that right-hand side, and after that, it was just off to the races. Looked for a moment he might score, but Skojo gets all the way down inside the 5, down to the 2, and now they're set up with a big 1st and goal.
It goes back to just what we were talking about, which, again, you don't want to get too dependent on run or pass. They did a great job of mixing that up and kind of putting Canton on their heels. And after those successive passes that they had there, they went right back to the run, and you can see what it got them. A big-time gain, big-time play.
Another handoff to Scott Johnson. Try to let him finish this drive off like they should after that big run on the previous play. But King Jamal comes up, makes a big tackle after only.
We saw Las Vegas come up with the big goal line stand at the beginning of the first quarter, and now can Canton do the same?
This will be a big stop for Canton if they can find a way to stop this drive before they get the touchdown. Offset eye behind Price. Handoff to Scott Johnson off to the right. Another big tackle made by Canton's defense. That's going to be another loss of time as number 41 comes in to make the tackle. TFL. Gary Clem, the linebacker. That's a big play and a big 3rd down coming up for both teams as Canton tries to make the stop and Las Vegas tries to get to 6.
Yeah, it looked like there was a hole to get in the end zone. It looked like he was headed for the promised land, and that closed quickly with Gary Clem.
One more handoff to Scott Johnson. They're going to call that a touchdown. They're going to say he crossed the ball over the plane after he made the spin off to that right-hand side, and Las Vegas is going to go up by 2 scores, 16-6 Vegas.
That was close. It really was. I'd like to look at the replay just once more because it looked like they were right there. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I think he did just get that ball right across the goal line there. They almost come up with the stop. I mean, they were trying to do the same thing they did the play before, but nevertheless, just able to squeak it in. And like we said, now we've got ourselves a 2-score game here.
Matt Rage will come out to attempt the extra point. Snap spot, kick is up, and it is good. Now, Cameron, I wouldn't have been surprised had Mike Twinscrew, the head coach for Canton, threw that red challenge flag to try to challenge that one, to try to say that he didn't cross the plane in that situation, but he decided to keep that flag in his back pocket, have enough defense in his, not have enough trust in his defense to make a few more stops and keep that for maybe a time when he needed it more later in the ball game.
Yeah, you know, you have to pick and choose, don't you? I mean, we saw Las Vegas have to go to 2 challenges already. They now have a 3rd. Because of that, they were successful on the other 2. Canton now deciding to be a little bit conservative with their challenge. And again, they've got faith in their offense that they can put a drive together and maybe put some more points on the board. But it's going to have to happen pretty soon here. We're almost midway through this 3rd quarter, and Vegas has been very stingy thus far with what they've allowed.
And we talked about points per game allowed by Canton. They are number 1 in the entire league in points allowed, with just over 13, I believe, in points per game allowed by teams so far this season through their first 5 games, as that is Kendra Wells' first completion of this ball game. Good for, oh wow, they're going to say that's out of bounds, and I think that's a little iffy. I would not be surprised if they try to give her, yeah, there's the challenge.
We go.
Yep. Mike Twinscrew said that was a you-know-what call, and go through the challenge flag.
Well, you know, you just mentioned it, didn't you? We talked about the play before and them deciding to not challenge it. There we go. Just another option that they would have had to have probably went to. Let's see this replay here and take a look and see if she was able to.
Ooh, that was closer. That was closer than the one that Mason Kirby had.
It was. I kind of thought that it looked like she maybe dragged her foot a little bit and was able to stay in, but and they are going to overturn that there.
Yep, they are going to give Kendra Wells her first completion of the ball game. So that will be good for, I believe that was a 7-yard completion once it all gets said and done before she went out of bounds. And they'll bring up a 2nd and short. Second and 3 from the 28-yard line, 3 wide this time for Curtis. Hands ball off to Robert Johnson instead, though. Tries to spin, and that's going to get brought down. But not before he gets the first down up to their own 33-yard line.
You know, going back to the challenge, I do feel like it was important that they did win that challenge, that they were successful on that, because as you've seen, this offense is kind of a creature of habit. When they get down like that, sometimes it's harder for them to dig out of that hole. So to keep the drive going, stay fresh, get another first down was big.
Oh, but another negative play right after a positive one, as that sack gets made by number 98 for Las Vegas. That is Anthony Stover, and Cameron Curtis goes down for a big loss after that hard hit.
Stover is making his presence known. That's not the first time we've called his name in this game. And here we go again. You know, they found something in the pressure that they're bringing off of that outside edge. And it's beginning to be an issue here for Canton. And again, they're faced with a 2nd and long.
Drifts to the top of the screen on 2nd and 16. Curtis just stands up after he receives a snap. And Robert Johnson gets the completion out in the flats and runs it up the sidelines for a gain of about 7 yards, 3rd and 9 upcoming.
Going to make it more manageable, that's for sure. And they really needed that because, as you could see, with the loss of yardage, it's hard for them, of course, to convert. It's hard for anybody to convert, but when you sometimes struggle in the offensive area as they had, you need to try to make every yard back as much as possible. And an interesting formation here.
Back to throw is Curtis to the right side of his formation, and that's going to get completed all the way up to midfield. As that's Mike Twinscrew now with his first completion of this ball game. And now, finally, here in the second half, sorry to cut you off, but Cameron Duty, they're finally finding their top 2 wide receivers, but it took them a full half of play and another half of a quarter to do so.
But you're exactly right. I was just getting ready to compliment you on that, Nate. You mentioned that they hadn't found them the entire game. All of a sudden now they're starting to find those receivers that they so heavily rely on, and when they need it the most. Oh, goodness.
Oh, what a job by Cameron Curtis to get out of the pocket before he got sacked by 2 defenders from that defensive line. Cameron Curtis able to mosey his way out of that pocket and off to the right, and after another little nifty spin move to break another ankle of the defensive, one of the defenders of Las Vegas, he gets all the way up to the 39-yard.
Oh, my goodness. You know what, that right there, that's just grit. I mean, they want to move the ball, and that's what Cameron Curtis was doing right there, just making a play where it looked like there wasn't any to be had.
And another completion for 6 yards this time made by Al Dilfrey Sr. That's his 4th of the game, good for 6 yards up to the 33-yard line.
And I feel like, and you tell me if I'm wrong, Nate, but I feel a sense of energy, a little bit of urgency, maybe some adrenaline out of this Canton offense that we haven't seen so far in this game. It's now showed up.
Well, this drive, they found all 3 of their top wide receivers, so now they got something going here. Chris back got another on the completion up to the 20-yard line. That's Kendra Wells again with the second completion of this drive, starting to feel herself here on this one, as she's got another completion, this one good for about 15 yards, maybe, 10 yards, I guess, on that completion, all the way up to close to the red zone.
The main difference in what we have seen since that sack earlier at this part in the possession is that now Cameron Curtis isn't holding on to the ball long. Take a look at that. Quick step drops and getting rid of the ball fast.
That one only goes for a gain of 1, however, as Rojo that's not Rojo, that's number 45 on that one, as he gets brought down after that completion after only a gain of 1. That's Kane Hunter.
The rookie Kane Hunter, that's right. 6 foot, 235 pounds, a first-round draft pick.
Offset eye behind Cameron Curtis. Back to throw. Off to the right, that's Kendra Wells on a short little out route, but it goes for big yards, brings up 3rd and 1 after the 8.
Yeah, a very nice play, a very good play design, just allowing her to get out and cut right there and come up with a quick little reception. This, in my opinion, the biggest play of the game for Canton right here. They need to convert.
3rd and 1 from the 12. They've had struggles on 3rd and short throughout this entire ball game. They hand the ball off to Robert Johnson. Their struggles continue as Robert Johnson gets brought down for another short loss as Maurice Lloyd comes up to make the TFL.
I think that Johnson was trying to try to pull that run a little bit more towards the outside where he felt like he may have had some daylight. Unfortunately, they were sitting right there waiting to greet him, and instead they'll have to, again, settle for a field goal attempt.
As Rob Ems will come on to attempt a 29-yard field goal attempt, as the snap is good, the hold is good, and the kick by Ems is right up and good. That cuts the lead to 8 points now, as Canton will finish this drive with another field goal. Rob Ems now 3 for 3 on the day. But Cameron, you got to think that they were hoping for 6 right there, and they're probably, really wishing they would have converted on that third down.
Definitely. That's kind of a win for Las Vegas that they were able to stop them once more, keeping them out of the end zone. They haven't found it yet today, and I know that it's very tempting to want to go for it on 4th down, but when you haven't been able to convert on short yardage, you got to take the point.
Oh, and after a spin move by Doug Britton, you thought he was going to break it for a second, but he'll bring that return up to the 28-yard line. Nice return right there by Doug Britton.
And it sets them up well, almost starting at the 30-yard line here. 1st and 10 for Vegas. We'll see what they can do. I'm really looking at that Canton defense. They got a little gassed on the series prior. Maybe they've got a little bit of rest in them now. We'll see if they can lock things down here.
Eric Price in the gun, play action, back to throw, deep middle, looking, that's completed. What a play! What a throw by Price to find his wide receiver Kirby behind the defense. That's going to flip field in a hurry for the Fury. Not to rhyme, but I did anyways, as Kirby gets a big gain over the middle.
He ran all the way down there completely untouched. I mean, how in the world that you let a guy like Kirby get free like that, I'll never understand. But nevertheless, he's really putting up some player of the game stats right now, having a big day.
He is up over 100 yards now after that big completion. That completion goes down for a gain of 40 on the play. Handoff after a big spin move by Skojo. On that right-hand side, he's up to the 29-yard line. Skojo now with 10 carries for 87 yards as we're now approaching a minute left here in the third quarter. Quickly, tomorrow on SFL YouTube, Fort Worth visits Baltimore for the first time. Tulsa tries to beat Jacksonville for the first time. Indy travels to take on Red Hot Portland plus San Diego and Denver tussle out west. Coverage starts at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. Only on SFL YouTube.
So,
and a big first down play right there to get to the 27-yard line.
Indeed. And again, bringing us down almost to the end of this third quarter here, they are smelling blood, I have to think Las Vegas is. I mean, if they can put some points up here, it's going to be an uphill battle for Canton.
Price to throw short over the middle. That's going backwards. I was going to say it was going nowhere, but it goes backwards. Dead, but they're going to give Skojo progress up to the 24-yard line after a gain of 3.
Yeah, yeah, it's a good thing he had that forward progress, wasn't it? Because that could have been ugly right there.
Four wide now for the Fury. Price to throw towards the sidelines. That's going to be a first down completion made out there by Prince Wonder. It's been his name ever since the first quarter when he had that first 12-yard completion. He'll have another completion to his name for his second one as he gets the first down.
It was really a pretty reception, wasn't it? I mean, just great footwork along the sidelines right there and able to reel that one in, of course, and secure the catch, and I'll stay in bounds. Just a tiptoe grab there.
We have made it to the end of 3, ladies and gentlemen. Put your 4s, 12s, 68s, and 86s up and hit the 4th. You're watching the SFL 20th season here on YouTube, presented by PM. Don't go anywhere. We are in for an exciting 4th, I'm sure. Nate Hall alongside Cameron Duty, Chris Porter, and Dakota Butts in the stats truck. Cameron Irvine in the production truck, making everything look and sound awesome for us here today, as Mike All gets into sack action with a nice takedown to Price.
That was a nice takedown, that's for sure. 6'6", 269 pounds. His second year with the team, he has done a really good job so far in his second year, again, making his presence known. And that could be a big player out there, could really change this thing.
Deep throw over the middle, wide open at the back of the zone. Touchdown,
wow.
Fury. Doug Britton finds an open space behind the defense, and the Fury go up by 2 scores, and Canton's in trouble now.
That was a very gutsy call and very impressive. I got to be honest with you. I mean, you come right back off of that sack. I literally just got finished saying that that's a type of loss that could change a drive. No, instead, Eric Price stands in there, throws a beauty, and again, a fantastic reception at the back of the end zone, and that changes everything.
And as Bat Rage comes on to attempt the extra point and kick this one up and through to extend their lead of 15 points now. Cameron, I often say that whenever a quarterback goes either even or plus on touchdown to interception ratio. Now, what do I mean by that? Either even on touchdowns and interceptions or more touchdowns than interceptions. You know, they're liable to win more games than not. And so far in this game, Eric Price has taken care of the ball, so to speak, in that regard. So far, 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions, and taking care of the ball in an even touchdown-interception ratio, and they're out by 15 points.
Oh, yeah, makes a big difference, right? Just like you mentioned, I mean, if you can protect the football there, and we just asked that, didn't we, at the beginning of that drive? I said, I'd like to see Price throw a touchdown pass here, and that's exactly what he did. He's done a nice job of not letting the interceptions rattle him. Instead, he's went right back to the drawing board, delivered some nice passes.
Now Cameron Curtis has to come back with an answer with just under 10 and a half minutes to go in the game, looking for an outlet, out to the flats to Rojo. Gets out to the 29-yard line for a 7-yard. Curtis hasn't had a good game himself. He's gone 20 of 27 for 183 with no touchdowns and 1 interception. He's had a nice game himself. He's just got to string a couple of drives together.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you exactly there, my friend. They don't want to really try to deviate too far from what works for them. Of course, that does take time. They're one that has very methodical drives. So that could be an issue here in trying to set the tempo a little bit quicker with only 9 minutes and some change left.
And look what we're up with now after that second down play. We're up to a 3rd and 1, and they've struggled on 3rd and 1 plays. So far, overall on 3rd downs, they're 6 of 13, and you just wonder out of the 7 inconversions they've had so far, how many of those inconversions have been short. They do hand the ball off, however, to Robert Johnson. He does get a huge opening right up the middle, big gain, and a 1st down up to the 38-yard line.
Yeah, that was the right play call there. And actually, I believe that was Kane Hunter there on that run.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah, and he did a nice job there, the fullback, just lowering his head and making a big-time conversion there. You're right, though. The fact that they're pretty much 50%, give or take a little bit there, on 3rd down conversions, I think that's the big telltale sign. There have been a lot of opportunities that they really needed to keep a drive sustained, and it just hadn't happened.
After that big run by Kane Hunter, they are exactly 50% now at 7 out of 14, but that does get brought down by number 91 for a TFL after that loss after that takedown by A.K. Jones for that TFL, bringing up 2nd and 11.
What this does, Nate, is it changes the way the Canton can play this game. They are so reliant on the defense, that great defense, and it allows the offense to be a little more methodical, a little slower, run a little bit more, maybe not have to push the ball down the field as quick, but when you get behind in a situation like this, it can become problematic.
Yeah, problematic because now time is a factor in your ball game, and at what point do you start deviating away from the run and for your wide receivers? You've only got 1 catch for Twin Screw and 3 receptions for Kendra Wells. They've got a big 3rd and 11 coming up, trying to convert another one. Looking over the middle for Wells, and that's going to go nowhere and incomplete, as that was knocked away by Luke Swift, a strong safety, and that's going to bring up another down and another punt situation as James III comes trotting out on the field.
Yeah, when you start to look at some of these plays as we go back and we kind of remember what has happened thus far in this game, there's been a lot of drop passes too, and there's a lot of plays that has developed to where basically the only thing that was available was the middle of the field. That's a credit to Vegas for being able to do a great job of limiting Kendra Wells and Twin Screw, and they just had to take the short yardage, and that's the big difference in this game.
As Britain brings this one up to the 33-yard line as Vegas starts their next drive from there. This is a good time to remind you that APM Music is unrivaled music to bring your stories to life, inspiring every production with the world's most robust and constantly refreshed music collection, state-of-the-art technology, and world-class customer service. APM Music is the official soundtrack of the Simulation Football League. To explore their library and to find the perfect tracks for your projects, visit apmmusic.com. And now Canton's defense is in a tough spot trying to get their defense to get another big stop. But they look deep over the middle, does Price, and another long completion to flip the field right away does the Fury as they get a big completion, this time to Britain for another big play.
Yeah, that again just absolutely burned right there on the coverage, wasn't it? I mean, he got to the inside and then he was gone. Had a good one or two steps on the defender there, and I believe that was Connor Darien who was covering him at that moment, and he just really he smoked the defense.
That one goes down for 28 yards. Chris Porter and Dakota Butts, love you guys there in the Stacks truck as that play goes up the middle for no gain. Scott Johnson gets brought down by number 42 on that one, Mark Gronick, after a no-gain play.
So now you see that the clock is beginning to wind down here. We're, approaching a midway in this fourth quarter, and Vegas again trying to move this football. If Canton wants to have any chance at coming back, they can't allow them to move any bit further.
Back to throw once again is Price, and right before he gets his foot dragged out of bounds, Kirby comes up with a beautiful dragging his toes completion for a nice 9-yard.
That was a very nice play right there. Of course, taking what the defense gave them. Yeah, they were covering deep, and they took the under route there and making us an easy third down.
Hands the ball off to Scott Johnson and gets some space, plus another nice spin move to the left, and another first down as he gets down to the 22-yard line.
Yeah, Las Vegas just has found a way to really wear out this Canton defense, a defense, as we've talked about all day, that really is very stern and has been coming into this game. At the same time, though, they found a way to exploit some of the weaknesses, and right now they look wore out. They really do, and Las Vegas is fully in control.
Back in the gun is Price, looking to maybe throw it off play action over the middle, wide open, but goes backward. Is the receiver on that one, as that is going to be one of the backups on that one, and it goes for only a gain of 1 yard. That's number 10, Cobretti, with the reception.
If they can regulate them, if they can negate them here to just a field goal, that will make it a 3-score game. Anything can happen, though, so they're really wanting to make sure they keep them out of the end zone.
And these corners have absolutely no answer for Kirby and Doug Britton on the outside. Is that please? Oh, they're going to say that's out of bounds. Now, don't forget, they do have a third challenge, does the Fury. Do they use it right here?
I really don't see why not. I mean, you're already up, 24-9. I really think I would have, the way that they've been moving the ball, but maybe they feel confident here that they can convert.
Well, let's see what they can do here on 3rd and 9. They may be kicking it back to throw. Deep drop is Price, short over the middle, and that is not going to be enough for the down. Mason Kirby, after a gain of, I would say, about 6 or 7 yards, and that's going to bring up 4th and 2. And I just got to think that had they challenged that previous play over by the sidelines, they might have won that one.
I have to agree. I mean, you worked to, again, be proven correct on the 2 challenges before, so now you're granted the 3rd. I'm really surprised they didn't take advantage of it there.
as Matt Rage comes out and attempts the field goal and kicks that one right on through to extend this lead out to 18 points, making the scoreline 27-9. They do stretch this lead out to 3 scores now. Canton in some real trouble with only a little over 5 minutes left in this game. Maybe they knew they had the sure points anyways, as they had an accurate leg in Matt Rage anyhow.
Exactly, and that could be very well what they decided on that. And it is a 3-score game now. Now, if you are Canton, you got to go deep for the entire game. In my opinion, you can't do much short yardage or run. You got to go long.
Not only as Al Dilfrey Sr. brings the ball out to the 24-yard line, not only do they have deep on every play, but they also have to get hurry up, as we're now under 5 minutes left of the ball game, and every precious second counts as we're approaching the final stages of this one. We take a close look at Max Jackson there in his safety position. Cameron Curtis back in the gun, having a 21-29 day for 190 yards at this point in the ball game. Back to throw from his gun position. Looking over the middle, gets a 9-yard gain by number 82. That is another one of the backups on the play for the reception after that 9-yard gain. Short. Curtis will go hurry up, back in the gun. Looking, throws over to left, and that's going to get picked off. And that's going to be a backbreaker. That could go take it all the way down to the 10. Touchdown! Fury will score off the interception, as that is number 39, Merrick Itera, turning interceptions into points. And that is nail to coffin to ball game, Cameron.
Yeah, Merrick Itera just became a terror to the Canton Classics right here. I mean, coming up with the, as you said, the final nail in the coffin. I mean, absolutely. He's got 4 tackles today and now 2 interceptions, 1 run back for a touchdown. That is going to do it, basically. I mean, that right there just took the wind out of their sails. It was just a day where Canton really couldn't get things going, especially the second half there. Las Vegas just proved too strong.
And Matt Rage, as he kicks the extra point through to extend the lead to 34-9, he's got to be thinking, wait, wasn't I just out here kicking a field goal like 5 seconds ago, and I'm already kicking an extra point 5 seconds later? What in the world? But they do extend this lead out to 25 points with 4.5 to go.
Things change quick in the SFL, don't they, Nate?
Absolutely. That is biggest, I think, well, it's a big understatement. Let's just put it that way. As this kickoff is away, Al Dilfrey Sr. will be set to return it from the 1 yard deep inside the end zone, and this will be brought out to about the 23-yard line. And Canton has just got to be stringing together some plays at this point to try to bring this one into a respectable scoreline. Las Vegas, you know, we said Canton prides themselves on their D. Vegas prides themselves on their O. Vegas prides themselves on their high-scoring O. They average 36.8 points per game. They are close to that. And they are close to that in this ball game with 34. We knew it was going to be either high-scoring or low-scoring with defense. At first, we thought it was going to be low-scoring, as that completion was made for 4 yards. At first, for the longest time, we thought it was going to be low-scoring as Canton's defense was keeping it close there for a while. But eventually, Las Vegas was able to put, 2 and 2 together with their 2 big wide receivers, Kirby and Doug Britton, back after plays together.
Yeah, you are right on that, Nate, and that's what it comes down to. Canton just could not get in the end zone each time that they got close. And instead of having maybe 9 points, instead you could have had 20 points, 21 points, 23 points. There was a couple of different scenarios there where it could have been a lot closer than what it turned out to be. The big reason, because this Las Vegas defense did not let Canton in the end zone.
Let's focus on this drive now, as quickly Canton has brought this ball all the way down to Vegas' 32-yard line after a string of completions by Curtis to his wideouts, but that's going to be quickly snuffed out by the Las Vegas Fury's defense after a sack right there made by, once again, A.K. Jones. That's his second sack of the ball game.
Yeah, and it was, of course, they are going to go for it. You have to.
Yeah, they will go for it here on 4th and 4 from the 34. Look to the top of his 3 wide receivers. Curtis back to throw. They will go that side. That is completed, and the drive will continue from the 25-yard line, as I believe that was Mike Twinsky with another completion. Back to throw. Curtis looking to the right out in the flats, but that's going to be a loss of 2 yards, as there's just no room for Rojo out there near the sideline.
No, I think that what happened there, and sometimes you'll see it, kind of led the receiver just a little too far, as you can see right there, just not enough for Rojo to turn the corner and head upfield. So they'll have to go back to the drawing board. But right now, what you're starting to see happen, Nate, is this Las Vegas defense is just giving a lot of yardage, aren't they? I mean, they're locking down, making sure that Canton can't convert anything deep, so they're taking everything underneath. But again, still really limiting them from getting to the end zone at this point.
And a nice completion made out there by, I want to say that was Twin Screw once again off to that side. Stringing nice completions together on this drive so far. Looking over the middle this time, unable to find a receiver, as that was the backup Johnson once again, unable to come down with that completion.
Yeah, they've kind of, and it's not that they haven't tried either. I mean, we talked about it earlier in this game. They've tried to spread the ball out. They haven't been one-dimensional at all. At times when we thought they may have been running it a little too much, they've then changed it up and tried to go to the passing game. But it just hasn't been there today, and you'll have days like that where it just doesn't come together.
Back to throw, Curtis over the middle. There is a flag down. They're going to call that a touchdown as Jack Wall comes down with the touchdown in the end zone. But let's see what the flag is about. We just hope it isn't holding on the line. It is holding side. Oh, it's offensive holding on Canton's offense. That's got to hurt.
Yeah, that just adds insult to injury, doesn't it? Looked like they were about to finally get some points in on there, and of course it happens. It does. It's easy to happen just with the slip of a hand sometimes, not even really realizing that you've grabbed or tugged on the defender in that way. But unfortunately, that's going to move them back as well, back to the 23-yard line.
2nd and 20 from the 23. Curtis under center with just over 2 minutes left in this ball game. They do get the ball over to Kendra Wells. She'll run out of bounds at the 17-yard line, and that'll bring up 3rd and long.
So now, looking down the road, this is a big time win for Las Vegas. Vegas, if everything holds true in the last 2 minutes of this game, will improve to 5-1. Canton will go to 3-3. That's going to kind of shake up the division standings just a little bit, and we can talk about that more in a minute.
Absolutely. As Curtis will get this ball out to Robert Johnson, get another few yards on that play before he's tackled at the 10-yard line. And you do bring up a good point about the standings as we switch gears a little bit and talk about standings and upcoming schedules. We may get to this on the other side of the 2-minute warning, because that, ladies, is just what we hit here. 2 minutes left to go in this one. Las Vegas will be going on to victory. Your score line in this one, 34-9. You're watching the SFL on YouTube, presented by MPM Music. Let's get down to the final 2 minutes. Nate Hall alongside Cameron Duty, Chris Porter, and Dakota Butts in the stats truck. Cameron Irvine in the production truck. Thank you, everyone, for everything that you do here in the league and these games. As Curtis goes back to throw and is completed down to the 4-yard line for a nice first down completion before he goes out of bounds.
Yeah, just stopped a little short there. That was a shorter route probably than what had been anticipated, and he just couldn't turn upfield to get that last yard. So Vegas will indeed take over, and you just kind of expect them to look to run the clock out here and call it a ball game.
Oh, that was 4th down. I didn't even see that. So Fury will try to look to run this clock down, and Cam will be calling timeouts. I hear a game update is ready. Cam, what do you got for?
I got a tightening North Division, Nate. London hadn't scored a touchdown about the last 45 minutes of game time because they didn't need to. They buried Queen City in the third with Ben Callia's second touchdown of the day. London now 3-3. Canton about to fall to 3-3. The Classics still have the tiebreaker from the head-to-head earlier this season, but the Knights are catching up. Back to you, Ben.
And there is a flag on the field as the handoff goes this time to number 20. They're going to get Cubba Kimbrell in, bringing the backups in at this point, as that's going to be a free 5 yards on the offside penalty by number 62, Chris Porter.
You know, we take a minute here to talk about what Cam was referring to there. The North Division here going to be, as he said, 3-3. Of course, Canton does hold the tie because of that game earlier in the year that they did win. What this is also going to do is this is going to stop a 2-game win streak that Canton had. And London is really pouring on the steam, aren't they? I mean, a big game today, and it's going to make this division really interesting to watch.
And let's quickly, as Canton takes their second timeout after their first down run by Hubba Kimbrell, let's quickly switch gears and take a look at the West Division, because the West Division is a very strong division, and a division that I'm frankly a part of. Not that I'm biased or anything, but the Arizona is 5-1, currently leading that. However, Las Vegas, after this victory over Canton, will temporarily hold first place in the West because they do hold a tiebreaker over Arizona after their victory over the Scorpions last week.
Yeah, indeed they do. You're right about that, Nate. And I mean, no, you were correct. No bias at all there, my friend. I mean, this is a tough division. When you've got the Nightwings who are sitting at 2-3 and still very much, even though they're at the bottom of the standings, all they need to do is reel off a couple of wins to put themselves into the discussion as well. This is one of the toughest divisions in the entire league.
Well, I said temporarily, but Arizona does have a bye this week, so I misspoke. And Las Vegas will hold first place all by themselves with Arizona on the bye. So congrats to Las Vegas for securing first place out there in the West after this victory here today. After Las Vegas is taking knees now, trying to run this clock down after Canton uses the rest of their timeouts. Canton will get the ball one more time, it looks like, after taking this last knee, however.
That's a big statement win for Vegas is what this is. I mean, you come in here, a Canton team that's in their second year, looking to improve on their 500 record from last year. You know, they want to try to obviously continue to lead that division. So, when you're beating a team as Las Vegas is here with Canton, who are at the top of their division, it really does make you feel good because you're going up against a tough opponent. We talked about the defense as well, so Vegas has a lot going for them right now. I mean, a lot to be excited about. I would agree.
The punt upcoming by Dustin McCrack with 3 seconds left on the play clock. Aldo for senior to set to return this one more time. After a brilliant hang time of 4.2, and Canton will get one more shot at it with 21 seconds left from the 47-yard line. And with Arizona and Las Vegas both at 4-1, there is a huge game upcoming tomorrow late night, Sunday late night at 9:15 out west. San Diego travels to Denver. 3-2 San Diego at 2-3 Denver. That's huge out west because should San Diego lose that game, they could drop to last place tied with Denver, as that completion is made out there for a gain of 6 yards by Mike Twinscrew. And San Diego is definitely not going to want to drop to last place in the West, tied with Denver. They're going to want to try to keep pace with both Arizona and Las Vegas out there in that very strong division. So that'll be definitely a game to watch.
I'll definitely be tuning in, that's for sure. That's the thing about SFL football. As I said earlier, it's an understatement, but things can change quickly in this league, and that's what makes it so much fun, is there's a lot of unpredictability about it. And again, these matchups like we're talking about, they really bring the energy, especially when there's something. Not that there's ever a game where there's not something to play for. Don't misunderstand me there. But when you're talking about divisional matchups like that, it's no holds barred sometimes.
Absolutely. As that pass gets deflected away by 59, both teams do have their, well, Las Vegas's defense do have their backups in at this point. As with 15 seconds left, Canton's going to try to go Hail Mary here for a couple plays. Back to throw, deep throw over the right-hand side. Curtis gets it off, and that is going to be knocked up in the air and incomplete. Looks like Kendra Wells might have had a shot at it in the back of the end zone, but unable to come away with it as Justin Reside knocks it away.
Yeah, just kind of a swarm down there, weren't they? Oh, yeah. She had an opportunity there for it. But again, looking at the replay, just kind of was up for grabs there at the back of the end zone. And I guess they'll probably try one more attempt at it.
One more go at it for the Canton Classics. Looking to end this one on a high note. One more Hail Mary formation for Curtis. Back to throw. Got some protection. Now running out of time. Deep throw over the right-hand side after he gets it away. That's going to be... that was incomplete. Not sure, but that's going to be the end of the game in either case. And Las Vegas Fury will come away with the victory, 34-9 in Cameron. As we look at the final stats and the final highlights of the second half, what was your overall take of this game and what did you think?
I think the biggest thing I took away, you saw it right there, Canton actually had more yardage than Las Vegas. Again, the difference being, though, Canton couldn't put up any points. And when that happens, it's very hard to keep pace with a team like Las Vegas, who, again, was able to make multiple trips to the end zone, both in offense and even the defense was able to show up. So Las Vegas just really had everything going for them today. Even the challenges. Some days you just have days where everything goes your way, right? And I mean, that's what happened for Las Vegas today. A great job both on offense and defense. And even the coaching staff coming up with a fantastic gameplay. Vegas showing why they are a tough opponent and one to watch in this season. Canton will go back to the drawing board because they know they've got some big-time matchups coming up down the road. So, again, takeaways, Vegas just did a great job dominating today's game. I think I'd have to probably give it to Kirby if I'm going to go for a player of the game. But there were definitely plenty of MVPs to look at in this one. And right there's one of them as well.
Yeah. Merrick Itera with the backbreaker at the end of the game. Both defenses had 2 interceptions. However, Merrick Itera, the only pick 6 of the ball game, and that was the sealer to end that one, as that would extend Las Vegas Fury's lead out to 31-9 at the time. As player of the game for this one is Mason Kirby. He did have 9 receptions for 10 receptions for 155 yards by our statisticians' take on this one. But for Las Vegas, they do have a bye week next week. They go back in action in week 9. And for the Canton Classics, they take their game to the South Division next week as they travel on the road to Mexico City. That's going to be a good one to watch as well. For Nate Hall, for Cameron Duty, for Dakota Butts and Chris Porter in the stats truck, for Cameron Irvine back in the production truck, we thank you for watching this broadcast of the Simulation Football League's 20th season. Stay tuned for more action here today in Week 7. So long, everybody.